Department of State now. Fox News alert awaiting remarks from Mike Pompeo on a day when Iran now reports it's exceeded a limit on uranium enrichment set by the nuclear deal of 2015. Retired four-star General Jack Keane, chairman of the Institute for Study of War, Fox News senior strategic analyst. General, good morning to you, sir. All right, here we go now. Iran has put out the word that they can ratchet this up every 30 or 60 days. What are the options for this administration?
Well, I think what the Iranians, first of all, are trying to do is they interfere with the shipping lanes, militarization of it in terms of sabotaging those ships, and that backfired on them. So they put that option aside now. It backfired because we caught them at it. They're exercising this option with the same intent. They want to get the Europeans to provide them some assistance here in terms of economic relief. That's the objective here, particularly the three nations from Europe, UK, France, and Germany that are still in the nuclear deal. What we'll do is clearly give them a clear warning that busting those restrictions is a pathway with high risk associated with it, because it's a pathway to a nuclear weapon. The United States will not tolerate Iran having a nuclear weapon, nor will Israel. Also, I think the Iranians will make an incremental increase, not a major increase, and then go to the Europeans and say, look, we'll go back underneath the restrictions where we were if you provide us economic assistance. That's the play that they're trying to make.
It kind of shows the Europeans how bad of a deal that was, right? Because you basically had a one-year cap on before Iran could have weapons-grade enrichment in order to have a bomb, because the deal said stop at 3.5%. Today they say they're at 4.5%, but you have to go to 90, General, to reach that capacity, correct?
Yeah, but once you start down the path and you increase the percentage to double digits, the pathway to 90 is very quick. And that's the danger here. The Iranians certainly know that. Now, what we'll be doing is working, obviously, all over the weekend and last week, over the 4th, I'm sure our diplomats were talking to the Europeans and pushing back on the Iranians. Don't agree to the Iranians' nuclear blackmail here. And the early indications, and this is good news, is that the Europeans appear to be doing just that, pushing back. We'll know for certain within a day or two where they stand.
I'm going to come back to this whole question about options. Here's the president before he returned to the White House yesterday on Iran.
Whether you have this conversation now or in a number of years from now, a few number of years, very important conversation, except the way they want it, they would have automatic right to have nuclear weapons. Iran will never have a nuclear weapon.
Based on what we are told in these meetings at the White House, the president said that repeatedly now for some time. Iran will not have a nuclear weapon. So then, General, what options are we left with?
Well, what's in front of us certainly is not military action based on what the Iranians are taking now. We'll give them firm warnings of that. We're not in the danger zone yet. What the president is trying to do, he's on a strategic offensive with a maximum pressure campaign, crippling the Iranians in a way. In 39 years, they have never, ever had this kind of pressure, Bill. They have another hand to play here with busting these restrictions to see if the Europeans will help them. I don't believe the Iranians will come to the negotiating table until they have run out of options. I also don't think they'll make a race to a nuclear weapon, because that'll be the end of their regime. And I think they recognize that the United States, under this administration, and certainly the Israelis, are dead serious about not tolerating a nuclear weapon, which would force military action. Yeah, we're a long way from something like that happening.
Yeah, I apologize for the interruption there. Mike Pompeo may say something about this now. What do you think the next play is? Whose court is the ball in, essentially, General?
Well, the ball is in the Iranians' court. They've got a hand to play here, and they're completely in charge of their own destiny. And I'm comfortable the administration has given them public warnings and private warnings. We're working strongly with our allies to put pressure on the Iranians. And if their options close, then there's a chance to get them to the negotiating table. Right now, the Supreme Leader has no interest in talking to the Americans. His other play will be possibly just wait this administration out and get a better deal from a newly elected president from the other party. That's a stretch, to be sure, but it's also something that Secretary Kerry has told them. It's also something that some of our European friends have been providing them advice on, which I think is pretty outrageous when you think about it.
That's terrific analysis, General. So good to have you on today. Jack Keane, thank you, sir. More to come on this, certainly. Thank you, sir.